Hi, my nerdlings! If you're new here, my name's Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. I know I haven't uploaded or filmed in a hot minute. So I have a book haul here. Some of it's Christmas, some of it is that Barnes & Noble all hardcovers 50% off sale. And some of it is just because Nicole has no impulse control. So I have middle grade, YA, and adults. And we'll probably start with the middle grade because that's the smallest pile, and then we'll move on to the rest. So, if I can reach them. First ones I have in middle grade is Arusha and the End of Time by Roshni Roshani Chokshi. Yep. And then we have Arusha and the Song of Death by Roshani Chokshi. And then Arusha and the Tree of Wishes. Same author. So we got books 1, 2, and 3 of this series, which it is Rick Riordan presents, so it's, got a mythology base to it. And it is Indian mythology. Like India, not Native American Indian. So, I'm curious. One of my things I want to do this year is to read more diversity. So, which in a video I probably should do soon. I'm going to talk about goals and all that stuff for this coming year. And then next, not going to be a shocker, we have 2 more Rick Riordan presents. We have book 1 in this series, which is called Dragon Pearl by Yoonha Lee. Well, Yoonha E, because in Korean you don't pronounce the L really. This is it's like using Korean mythology, but then there's like space mech fighting, and it's kind of confusing. I'm sure I'll understand it once I get reading. So, book 1, we have Dragon Pearl, and book 2, we have Tiger Honor, which our dust jacket's falling off. So, those look good. So that's middle grade. So not too bad. 5 middle grade. We'll move on to YA, because surprisingly, my biggest pile is adult. I know. I'm truly shocked. First, we have Daughter of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews. And the blurb that made me buy this was done by Adeline Grace. She wrote All the Stars and Teeth that I read last year. A fresh original spin on a classic Greek mythology. An action-packed adventure with phenomenal writing and empowering female characters. I'm absolutely enamored by this book. So. And naked, we just have black and red. Sparta forged her into a deadly weapon, and now the gods need her to save the world. Ooh. And it's one of those James Patterson Presents books, which we liked the Carrie Maniscalco books that he's presented. We haven't read any of the others, so hopefully this one will be good. I'm running out of... I'll move books over here as I go through them. Next, we have Year of the Reaper by Micaiah Lucier, maybe? The past never forgets. This book cover, it's just really haunting, and I absolutely love it. So one of the blurbs on the back says, a beautifully crafted novel containing everything I love in an epic fantasy, complex characters and relationships, excellent world building, and a compelling story full of twists and turns. The central characters with their strengths and flaws feel entirely real. So this was a cover by, as is per usual, all of my books. So next we have The Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker. And I am too dangerous to let live any longer. It is written in the book of Anku, decreed by the High Reaper himself. Death will come to find me, but I will no longer be there. So, from my understanding, this is about half British Reaper, half Japanese Shinigami. So, like, she's a Reaper on all sides. Oh, I never did this one naked. So, this one naked. What's it look like? Black with silver. This one naked. We've got red with black. They've got these pretty chrysanthemums on the inside. And can we just talk about this illustration? I just think that is so pretty. Anyways. Next, we have the next two are presents from the Witchlands Discord I belong to. We did a gift swap, and Prim got me, and I stuck the gift tag in one of these. Of course, I can't find it because I didn't stick it in the beginning or the end. Like, I just randomly stuck it in here. So the thing that we did for the Witchland, this Discord I belong to, it's Susan Dennard's Discord for the Witchland series. Well, for all of her series, like, we talk about everything, but it was primarily started for Witchlands. So we, did a Google, a survey thingy, and put in, like, what are some books you're interested in, or just give a vibe. And I listed that I wanted to get into J. Kristoff, N.K. Jemisin, or Brandon Sanderson. That I didn't own their books, so it would be a safe bet, right? Or there was one other author, but I can't think of. John Gwynne. So, like, safe bet. I don't own these authors, but I want to get into them. So you can honestly get me anything from them and know that it's a safe assumption I don't have it. So, Prim, from the Discord, with her little gift note, wrote, Merry Christmas from your Witchland Secret Santa. I hope you enjoy these books, two of my favorite series. And we've got Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and J. Kristoff, and Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and J. Kristoff. Which, these books have always captured my eye. I think they're so beautiful. And we got purple with black. But it's sci-fi, and I'm like, about sci-fi, but I can't say that I'm about sci-fi because I've been buying a lot of sci-fi. Like, I've got the Dune series. I've been reading Harrow and Gideon. Like, sci-fi is not as taboo for me as it used to be. So, this says, they're not the heroes we wanted. They're just the ones we could find. A cocky diplomat with a black belt and sarcasm, a sociopath scientist with a fondness for shooting her bunkmates, a smart-ass tech whiz with the galaxy's biggest chip on his shoulder, an alien warrior with anger management issues, a tomboy pilot who's totally not into Thai, in case you were wondering. So, apparently this group of misfits has to save the world. And then the bottom of the blurb, the synopsis says, "Nobody panic." So I'm excited. I can't wait to see it, to read it. And the covers are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then next we have Illuminae, which is a mixed media. Like some of this is written in like I don't know how to. Some of it looks like it's written like a play. Some of it looks like it's written between like instant messaging. Some of it looks like a journal, like, and you know what I mean? Like, it's very different. The year is 2575, and two rival megacorporations are at war over a planet that's little more than ice-covered speck. Now, with enemy fire raining down on them, exes Katie and Ezra, who are barely even talking to each other, are forced to escape on the evacuating fleet. But their problems are just beginning. The fleet's AI has gone crazy. A deadly plague has broken out on one of the ships. Nobody in charge will say what's really going on. As Katie hacks into a tangled web of data to find the truth, it's clear only one person can help her, the ex-boyfriend she swore she'd never speak to again. I'm interested. This seems to be like a very polarizing series, though. Like, whenever I see people talk about it, they either love it or they hate it. Or they love the first one, hate the second one, or hate the first one and love the second one. So it's like, I don't know who to believe. So, let me stick to that gift one back. This next one was also a gift. It was one of two from my friend Bree, which, love you, Bree. But the other book she gave me was adult, so we'll talk about that when we get there. She got me Black Widow Forever Read by Margaret Stohl, which I have the second book in this series. I bought it not realizing it's the second book. And so I've had it for about 5 years now, not able to read it because I didn't have this one. So Bree got me this one. So this seems to be the Black Widow movie that came out last year. This seems to be the novel to that, from my understanding. Yeah, it's definitely, I just quickly read the back, it's definitely around that movie. Sorry, my cat is playing with something and just ran into the stove. Are you good? Next, we have Iron Widow by Zirin J. Zhao. Again, beautiful illustrations. The blurb on the back says, like its ferocious heroine, Iron Widow is brutal, bloodthirsty, and full of rage. Zeshian's fight to shatter patriarchal definitions of power makes for a truly thrilling read. So this is another like mech. There's like, okay, so the highest honor for a young girl is to be selected as a concubine pilot. Supporters paired with male pilots to power up chrysalises, giant transforming mechas that humanity relies on to battle the massive aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. But the honor often ends in death. So, it's the basis of it. It's sci-fi. So we're black. Ooh, with black. Oh, nice. So, I'm definitely intrigued. So, I love this cover. I bought it the day it was released. Oh, this has a sticker on it. Hold on. I don't like stickers on my books. Next, we have The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jasinska. Two rivals, one heart, and a kingdom ready to watch them burn. Two monstrous girls, one heart to consume, and a rivalry that could cost them everything. Ooh. And so we got a black cover with a gold spine. And our last YA, which I don't even know why I bought this book. I haven't even read the first two books in the series, but I just love the cover. And I will read them eventually. We have The Righteous by Renee, Audie. Vampires are back and they're more seductive than ever. And I love that the end pages is a map of the French quarters in New Orleans. And then you have my favorite color with black. I think this is white. Might be why I bought it without even knowing anything about the series. Well, I have book 2. So I got book 2 for my birthday last year. Then my friend didn't realize it was book 2. So I went out and bought book 1. So I have The Beautiful and I have The Damned. And then when this came out, I'm just like, it's my favorite color, so I need it. And we all know that when I sit down to read a series, if I like the series, I binge it. So I guess it's good to have a good chunk of them at once versus finishing it and then being sad that I don't have them. So, next. That was all YA. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 YA. Plus 5 middle grade. So we're at 14. And the next bit of the haul is going to be adult. And I have split it up between sci-fi, fantasy, fiction, and nonfiction. And I will bust through these as fast as I can. First 3 books. We have Dune, Dune Messiah, and Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. This one is one from Bree. I bought these 2 myself. Boils down to I saw the movie, and now I need to know this book series because I need to know the whole story. Next we have The Mermaid from Jeju by Sumi Han. Um, Inspired by true events on Korea's Jeju Island, Sumi Han's entrancing debut novel brims with lyricism and magic. Explores what it means to truly love in the wake of devastation. So, I was talking to Tessa, and she was shelving books and fiction, and this was in her hand, and I looked at it, and I am just like, you don't need to shelf that, and I just took it from her hands and went and bought it. I didn't read anything about it, but it looks really good. It's really pretty. So, yep. And the next fiction we have is The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. This is a special edition that my husband bought me for Christmas. It is book 8,735 of 10,000. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is one of my favorites. And I just really wanted a pretty edition. And I absolutely love this edition. It's like laser cut. I'm not sure if you can tell. So. Sci-fi and fiction, fantasy. And, trying to think of the order that these go. (2006). That's 2008. So what? 2007. Okay, so we have Mistborn, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, which make up the Mistborn trilogy. And I really don't want to sit here and read the back of this. I know it's got something to do with, like, people that can allomancy and whatnot. Just do the basis. So, we have the Mistborn trilogy, the first 3 in the Mistborn trilogy. And then the next series, because if we're going to buy a series, might as well buy as much as we can. We have The Bone Shard Daughter and The Bone Shard Emperor by Andrea Stewart of the Drowning Empire series. In an empire ruled by bone shard magic, the former heir to the emperor will fight to reclaim her magic and her place on the throne in this stunning epic fantasy debut. And then there's, like, also, like, it weaves in, like, Middle Eastern belief systems, if I am remembering correctly. I might not be. But can we just talk about this cover? This is my favorite, obviously, because it's my color. But I love this cover. Like, I was interested in reading the series to begin with, and then I saw this cover, and I'm like, I gotta have it. So I actually bought this one before I bought this one, because my store didn't have the hardcover in this. And if I'm going to have a series, my series is going to match. So next, we have adult nonfiction. First, we have The Silk Roads by Peter Frankelpan. This is basically a history of the Middle East and Asia, and all of that, and there's pictures. Because I don't know about you, But growing up, we didn't get much of a history of this part of the world in school. So I went to my coworker, Austin, who is very much a history guy. I said, Austin, I want to know more about the history of this area of the world. What do you recommend? And this is what he pulled. So we'll see if Austin's right and it's a good read. Next, another book recommended by Austin is Double Cross by Ben Mcintyre, The True Story of D-Day Spies. On June 6, 1944, 150,000 Allied troops landed on the beaches of Normandy and suffered an astonishingly low rate of casualties. A stunning military achievement, it was also a masterpiece of trickery. So, I've been asking different people at work to recommend me a book, or what's their favorite book. And so this is what Austin told me. Alicia told me The House in Cerulean Sea. I can't remember the other ones. Chris told me The Devil in the White City. So, and then lastly, these ones. I saw Leanne talk about from Literary Diversions, I think is her YouTube channel, because her Instagram's Novel Menagerie. And these are From Here to Eternity, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doughty. So Caitlin Doughty is a licensed mortician, and she wrote these books to answer questions that people have. This one is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory. So there's a bunch of random things like that. And then we have From Here to Eternity. She travels the world and finds out how death is treated in different cultures, which I want to diversify my reading, and now I can learn about different cultures and the way the death is treated. So I'm intrigued by this one. And then lastly, Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs? And Other Questions About Dead Bodies. This is when kids ask her questions. So there's questions like, what would happen if you died on a plane? What would happen if I swallowed popcorn kernels and then was cremated? Like, would they pop? If someone is trying to sell a house, do they have to tell the buyer someone died? Just random. Do conjoined twins die at the same time? Like, questions that little kids tend to ask. Will I poop when I die? Which, yes, you will. Don't know if you know that. How does a whole adult fit in a tiny box after cremation? So, can I preserve my dead body in amber like a prehistoric insect? That is something my son would ask. So, that is the last of the adult. So we have 14. Really? Only 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 books between Christmas and Nicole not having any self-control, especially during that 50% off hardcover sale at Barnes & Noble. So, through the books that I showed you here, What are some that you actually think you might want to read now? And what are some that you would recommend me to start with? Leave your answers in the comments below. If you made it this far, comment a little book emoji. Why not? But until next time, remember, you are loved.